Impressive new videos from Mount Lewotobi Laki-laki, guys, and we will even see, because this was basically happening around midnight, the first eruption, we will see volcanic lightning, so stay with me in this video. Mount Lewotobi Laki-laki in Indonesia has delivered and is delivering stunning images again today. Residents are advised to stay away from the danger zone. It has sent up ash plumes 32,000 feet up in the air. That's 9.8 kilometers, and the images are captivating. It started to erupt on August 17th and then really has pushed out more on August 18th. Eruption began at night, almost midnight local time, so late August 17th, like 5 minutes before it was August 18th. The volcanic agency has issued an advisory because the ash was reaching that high, 32,000 feet above sea level, and it was drifting west. Current aviation color code is of course red. Multiple moderate to strong eruptions happened again today as we speak. There was a very intense eruption on August 1st and 2nd, and then it continued between August 8 and 11. We also had ash plumes that rose up to 4,000 feet above the summit. This impressive volcano, this stratovolcano, consists, and you see it on the aerial picture, of two stratovolcanoes, one male and one female, Lewotobi Laki-laki and Lewotobi Perempuan, that is located on the eastern part of Flores Island. And the main hazards that are associated with this volcanic complex is of course ashfall that keeps raining down on the villages around it. The pyroclastic flows, very, very dangerous. They shoot out at high speed. And of course lahars, these volcanic landslides, mud flows that can be devastating for the villages that are surrounding the area, such as Konga, Boru, Nobu. They remain at high risk during periods like this with elevated activity, basically since July. And just today, there's a video, residents were watching Mount Lewotobi erupt just this afternoon when it was sending ash up to 4 miles up high into the air again. And the crater is located in the East Flores Regency, the Flores Island. That's the East Nusa Tenggara province. And today it did cause earthquakes before it started the eruption. So it began shaking first before it starts spewing out the ash clouds, and what it is doing right now. And the video that you're seeing has been filmed by the head of the Lewotobi Laki-laki Volcano Observatory post. His name is Herman Josef Mboro, and he has recorded this eruption at 5:12 p.m. local time. And also interesting is when we look at the seismograph, the data show that the eruption lasted 4 minutes and 5 seconds with a maximum amplitude of 47.3 millimeters. And that ash cloud that we see in the video reached a height of 6 kilometers, that's 3.7 miles above the summit. And of course, residents, when that happened, they were ordered to evacuate immediately and stay out of the danger zone around the base of the volcano, because who knows what else is going to come at Lewotobi Laki-laki. So here, look at this, how the lightning strikes, how the volcano makes himself known. It's always very, very impressive. And also what you should watch here, this has been filmed, thankfully. You have to hear the sound. You have to hear the rumbling of the volcano. It's absolutely amazing. So yeah, this guy is capable of even more, guys. We need to speak about that while we watch the impressive pictures of today's eruption. as beautiful as these pictures are, Mount Lewotobi Laki-laki is one of the most active volcanoes in Indonesia, but it's also one of the most dangerous volcanoes. We have unfortunately seen that not long ago in 2024, in November 2024, an eruption of Lewotobi has unfortunately resulted in 9 people lost and in many injuries. There were past eruptions, those like in 1862 and 1932. They have also caused devastation, villages being destroyed, landscapes being scarred by lava and lahars. And the volcano is on high alert right now. So aside from producing these beautiful pictures, it can do a lot of damage. Again, we need to be aware of this. So that's why they have established these ongoing exclusion zones and also ongoing evacuations. That is still happening for the villagers that live close by to the volcano. So that highest alert level that has been called for Lewotobi Laki-laki tells us that there is a high potential for further eruptions, stronger eruptions, more destructive eruptions. Especially in a period where we have this ongoing activity right now. So we have this no-go zone of a 4-mile, like 7-kilometer exclusion zone around the volcano. Don't go there, no tourists, no hiking. It's a no-go zone. Lewotobi Laki-laki is especially known for its unpredictable nature from one second to the other. We're stunned by looking at these beautiful pictures that it produces, but it can be absolutely devastating in the next second. Often it starts with minor steam emissions and then it likes to escalate into very explosive events. And of course, with its location on Flores Island, Lewotobi Laki-laki is part of the Pacific Ring of Fire, where the world's most volcanoes are located and over 90% of the earthquakes are happening there because it's a subduction zone. The Pacific plate is colliding with other plates. And the problem is also, and let's speak in plural, the Lewotobi Laki-laki volcanoes, the male and the female part, the history is not well studied. That's why it's so difficult to predict its behavior because we do not know much about it. And over the centuries, the Lewotobi volcanoes, by the way, Laki-laki is the male part and Perempua is the female part, they have developed a reputation for sporadic but devastating eruptions. And the records of the volcanic activity at Lewotobi, they date back to the early 1600s. And during that time, for the people that lived there, these twin peaks became culturally significant to the local, they called Lamaholot people. For them, it symbolizes balance and duality in nature. Well, the male and the female, they're fighting quite a bit, it seems. I don't know if it's balance in nature, but however, we can say that eruptions from these peaks, especially from the male part, have been anything but balanced, right? Past events have seen these intense pyroclastic flows, the lava fountains, ash clouds, darkening the skies, forcing evacuations and devastating agricultural lands. And scientists call it like a modern tragedy that happened last year in November 2024 because it erupted with a fury that had been unseen for decades. The seismic activity had been rumbling for a month before it started eruption, but the main event began already on November 13th when explosions rocked the mountain and the ash columns soared over 7 miles into the atmosphere and has spread really a lot of volcanic debris across Flores and neighboring islands. The destruction that it sent was swift and harrowing. Several villages along the flanks of Lewotobi got all the pyroclastic flows and the lava surges, and a 5-meter, like 15 feet wide impact crater, that you'll see that picture, an impact crater from a volcano is located near the monastery that is there. And it serves really for us now as a quite of a sobering reality of how destructive this volcano can be. Its entire communities were wiped out. Many residents were forced to flee, leaving behind homes, livestock, livelihoods. Over 7,000 people were displaced in this eruption. Humanitarian efforts have been racing to relieve affected residents and the evacuated area. And the ashfall has not only blanketed all these areas and destroyed agricultural land, it has contaminated the water supplies, of course, grounding flights, but who cares about the flights? It's about the local people there. The agricultural economy, heavily reliant on this fertile volcanic soil, now after that is still facing an uncertain future due to these layers of ash and debris that is coating the fields. So what we're seeing here now, what looks beautiful, the local people must be shaking inside. And Lewotobi Laki-laki's past eruptions, that's a chilling context if we look at the November 2024 events, because the most notable eruptions that we know about in 1862 and 1932 have caused similar destruction, with villages reduced to ash and lava-carved landscapes that still are visible today. You still see the scars. So the eruptions are unpredictable. We could see that again at any time, guys. That was just a quick update for you guys, but check out the videos in the end screen. So much is going on around the world. If you want to support the channel, guys, fill me up with coffee because it's empty right now. Link is in the description underneath the video. And if you want to click the join button to become a supporting member, you get behind the scene videos. Thank you for your supers. Thanks for watching. Click the end screen. I see you right there.